I'm so dedicated to my destination. I'ma get it how I live it with no hesitation. See me making moves and all this training proves that I'm possible.
Welcome to our MLXT YouTube channel. This is Micah Lancaster, and we're back for another behind-the-scenes look into one of our workouts, where we're actually going to be getting our players the more comfort in finishing without a basketball on the drive. We're going to go ahead and jump into this, and you'll see it as we go, but we're going to start basically bringing imagination into the mix to hold ourselves accountable to different attributes in finishing. Let's take a look. This is one of my favorite things to do for finishing in terms of getting you in the air and finding touch as late as possible into the finish, right? Because it's easy when the ball's in our hands the entire time, we can get rid of it early. Now we're gonna force you to get rid of it at the latest points, right? And so now I'm gonna have the ball on the box, you're jumping, grabbing it, clearing the box, finding movement, okay? But I wanna start with your drop and your drive as if you had the ball the entire time. So imagine that and run normally. Now, when it comes to learning how to finish, some of the things that players have a tendency to do is get the ball out of their hands early. See, and a lot of times it's taught to players because they're taught in very unathletic ways through biased coaching, or just simply people who are, even though they're looking out for the best for the player, might say, you're never gonna be an athlete, you're never gonna be able to hang in the air, so just get the ball out of your hands. But if you remove the context of the game and you place the ball in a box, for instance, or you could have a player hold it, it's a great way for players to start to test their athletic ability and see what they're actually made of. And you'll be amazed at how little vertical is required to actually use hang time in the game of basketball. And so this method and your ability to simply run normally, jump in the air, use the athleticism that you have, grab the ball late, will force you to now be in the air longer and see how you can actually finish when you are experiencing hang time. So this method is not just about you being an athlete, it's you understanding how athletic you are. And there's levels to that, but we still want players to be able to tap into their current athleticism, and this is a great way to do that. I don't care how you jump, as long as it's realistic, we're not stuttering our feet. So you're gonna get me the ball, I'll put it up, you go. But set up just like you normally would, drop, I should see your knee hit that spot, your foot hit that spot, and you're gone, okay? Jump, grab, find movement to finish. Work on your ability to simply get really smooth motion, get to extended elbow, and find touch. Now, one of the problems with imagination things like this and imaginative methods like this is that players will sometimes move fake. And so I don't want a player chopping their feet in order to jump. I want them to run like they normally would run. So now if we put a basketball in their hands and actually make them do their actual drive, it will start to feel even more normal, especially if they were struggling with it. Now I can actually add in a pass just to get it out of their hands and have them jump just as if they never passed it with that second ball. Now that seems a little complicated when explaining it, but you'll see how simple this is. If I put the ball in your hands and have you drive, you're experiencing a real drive. I let you get it out of your hands and jump, and now I'm forcing you not to let the ball go early, but actually repeat what we've worked on, act like you never had to pass that ball at all, and now you've experienced a simulation of that one drive in the game. And once again, we're getting back to the same emphasis of finishing later in the air, trusting ball movement and finding touch, but now we're overloading the skill sets to see if the players can stay focused on the task without losing their footwork, their jumping, and their finishing ability. I want you to now drive normally with your dribble, and we're gonna add in a pass as you jump, okay? So I'm just trying to throw your body off. I still want you to focus on your drive. I want you to focus on your ability to be aggressive. But as you're attacking off the dribble, as you're about to take off, get rid of it, find that ball, and find the finish. Now that we've spent some time without the ball on a drive and actually forcing late finishes, now we're gonna bring the ball to the players and we're gonna have them experience a more game-like, realistic way of actually holding the ball a little bit longer. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and drive at that same box. Now if you don't have a box, just find something that players can actually experience and it could be a body too, it could be a person, but try to find some way for them to experience these types of qualities. Having boxes are great because they're soft and they're padded. But now I'm going to have the players drive at the box, and they're going to jump into where the contact would be, but as they experience the contact, they're going to go ahead and start to work on turning their body to slightly avoid it. So we don't always have to throw our body and actually get full contact. We can start to learn how to release some of that pressure and still be in the air. So this is a technique that players can have with some contact, but still they're going to have to hold the ball a little bit longer and let themselves be in the air to go ahead and execute the finish. So it still plays into the same principles, the traits and characteristics that we were working on. All we're going to focus on is just creating a little bit of contact, but you're not going to do like deliberate contact. So what I mean is you're not going to go straight on into it. You want to try to clip the corners of the boxes. Okay, so if you drive right, you want to clip the corner of it. But what I want you to do is just create that line. So if we were curving that drive, it would be right here. So I want you to drive, get to the corner of it, and then you can open yourself up however you need to finish. But what I want you to focus on is if you were driving here, you're going to jump into this part of the box, then find your way around. So you're going to get slight contact, and it's just being able to take it and then still finish late. That's the big thing we're focusing on, right? Is just can we finish later in the jumping process. Then, as you'll see, I let them have a little bit of fun. The process of this was being able to finish late. So now you can have them push off a little bit, see how far they can push their athleticism, have some fun with it, but even those last characteristics, can you stay composed when you've had to be in the air a little bit longer? And since I'm working on athletes, go ahead and sneak some dunks in as well. So that's a great way to close this workout, let them have fun with the process, get them even more comfortable with their bodies, because all in the end, what we're trying to give them is more confidence in their finishing, simply more abilities with both hands. And that wraps up another behind the scenes look at what we do at our world headquarters with our players. That was a simple series where we focused on imaginative finishing. I'd say simple as an execution, but it actually requires quite a bit of skill. And so this is another look at how we do things a little bit differently. Not always looking at exact game situations, but providing game qualities and characteristics. There's a lot of mic and drills going on and a lot of so-called fundamental finishing, but that's only going to take you so far. So these types of workouts are great ways to look deeper into finishing, get a little bit more comfortable with your body, more comfortable with your movement, more comfortable with your hands and how you're jumping. And if you go ahead and take this into the game later, you'll feel the benefits of it. Think about workouts like this just like you would experience in strength and conditioning. When you bench press, when you do jumping on boxes for plyometrics, when you work with agility ladders, whatever it is, where does the actual gains occur? They occur later. Not necessarily in a certain game situation, but simply because your body has improved. In this way, we've improved your skills of finishing. How you apply it in the game is going to be up to you, your style, and simply how you play. But if you have this a little bit more confidence and ability to be in the air, make adjustments, and still find touch, I'm going to go ahead and bet that that's going to help you, not hurt you. I'll see you guys next week. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you're liking and commenting, and we will engage with you. And then make sure that you're ringing that notification bell so you don't miss a workout. But once again, I'll be back next week at this exact same time. So I'll see you then for MLXT YouTube channel.